My author friends, I want to talk to you about book marketing really fast. I stumbled across this video on YouTube, and I wish I could cite the guy, but I kind of found him randomly, and as he was speaking, I knew what he was saying is true, so I wanted to share it, and hopefully I can find him again because he deserves all the credit. This was an amazing video, amazing thing just for authors to understand. And when it comes to marketing, we can get really bogged down in like the nitty-gritty stuff, like, okay, how does Goodreads work, and how do Amazon keywords work, and all these different things. But this guy, this is a big picture, like aerial view of marketing for books. It starts with two stories, story about two authors. First guy, he was very independently wealthy, and he decided he'd try his hand at writing a book. And as the book was coming out, he took out a Craigslist ad in every major city in America and bribed 10,000 people to read his book, and he could afford to do that. And right when the book came out, he landed himself on the New York Times bestseller list, and he bought his way there. And you know, do what you can with the resources you have, no shame in that. But what's interesting is a month later, he stopped recruiting new people to buy the book, and after a year, there had only been 500 additional sales. Like that first month, he did over 10,000, and then the other 11 months of the year, only 500 books or less were sold. Why is that? It's because none of the people who read his book recommended it to anyone else. He told another story, an indie author with a $0 budget. And this author thought really, really hard about, okay, what is in my book? What is the value? Who would want to read it? Who would enjoy it? And this person worked relentlessly to get individual people to read the book, right? Instead of like, I'm going to market this to 1,000 people, it's like, no, I'm going to find a couple people who I know will love it, and I'm going to persuade them to read the book. And guess what? Because the book had value and this author found the right reader, those readers recommended the book to 2 people or 3 people or 4. And then those readers recommended it to 2 people or 3 people or 4. And within 2 years, this author got themselves on the bestseller list. But even more importantly, it's been over 10 years and this book is still moving like that. People are still reading it and recommending it. New people are joining the market in the genre. You know, kids are becoming adults and they are now interested in this book. New people are like, oh, I'm going to explore. You know what I mean? Like the market over time for your book grows beyond what it is today. But the point is that all book marketing fundamentally is going to come down to word of mouth, right? Like your book needs to be recommended to readers by other readers. Well, how do you do that? Here's the first thing. You got to make sure that your book has something to offer. Like all the marketing in the world can't make up for the fact that like your book may not have what people really want or need. And it's not that you should cater your books to a specific audience. It's more that just really be intentional, set an intention with your writing. Like there's something in this book, and it doesn't matter what your genre is. Even if your genre is smut, you need to understand the exact value of your book. Like for the people who read in this genre, what is it your book has to offer? You need to get really, really clear on that. The second thing is you have to be absolutely certain that whoever reads your book is going to benefit. Like you need to have that confidence that like whoever is reading it is going to enjoy it, is going to get something out of it, and you need to stand behind your book that like it is actually good that people read it. It's not just that you want them to read it, it's actually for their benefit. And everything you do needs to be focused around the fact that your book can serve in whatever way it serves, whatever genre it's in. You know, if there's a certain thing people are looking for, you have it. This is unbelievable. My goodness. Chicken. Wild. I guess they're hungry. And then it's all going to come down to word of mouth, right? So like 3 things that you need to know. Set an intention with your writing. Figure out exactly what's in your book and who would benefit from reading it. Stand behind that. And then the third thing is it's all word of mouth. And, you know, maybe this is connecting with you, maybe it's not. Maybe you know exactly how to apply this, maybe you don't. But everything you do from a marketing perspective, it needs to be about the reader. It's not about you, it's not about your dream, it's not about your marketing. It's about the people who love books and what they are going to get out of reading your book. It's about them, it's about your service, it's about how the art that you're making can help them. That is all you need to know. Like, you don't need a huge budget. Oh, here's another important thing this person said. This person doesn't care about book launches at all. This person's been in book marketing for decades, does not care about book launches. Everything is about the first 2 years a book comes out. That's what they want to know, because Imagine if in 50 years your book is still going around. People are still recommending it. People are still reading it. That's what you want. So much more. It'd be so cool to be a New York Times bestseller, but imagine if in 50 years people are still talking about your book. That's what you really want. So think in these longer term, sort of language or mindset, right? The other thing, I'll tell you about growing bamboo. When you grow bamboo, you put it in the ground and it doesn't do anything for 5 years. I'm talking like you water it and you're protecting it and you're trying to protect it over the winter and you're trying to not let it get too dry in the summer, and you have no idea if it's working. You don't see anything for 5 years, but you keep working on it and you keep tending to it as if everything's just fine. And then in 5 years, you find out if anything you're doing is working. Book marketing is a lot like that, right? Like, it's so easy to plant a seed today and then dig it up tomorrow to see if it's doing anything at all. Do not do that. You are playing the long game. You are making extraordinary art that serves people. And if you work in one reader at a time, do that. There is nothing wrong with that. That is still the path. That is more the path than any other path. Find who wants to read your book. Work on them. Cultivate a friendship. Keep doing what you're doing. I believe in you. This dream means something. You mean something. Your work means something. It is good you are doing your work. Do not quit. I believe in you. You got this.